Year 2036, humanity's last war ended in a blast. With the world in ruins, only monkeys survived. Abandoned on a devastated planet without bananas. Led by 6 strong monkeys, the Age of Apes had begun. They rebuilt from the ruins and fought for their survival. There was only one way to go, up. Time to aim for the banana in the sky. To space, monkeys! The rockets are ready, the hordes are restless. Let's begin our race to space!
Hey everyone, this is JM from Not Casuals. Today's video is going to be about Age of Apes. This game is very similar to other games of this style like Rise of Kingdoms, but adds very unique features, as well as it should be releasing on Android devices on August 1st and iOS shortly after. So if this is the kind of games that you like, make sure to keep watching to learn all about it. So in this game, you get to play as one of 6 hordes of monkeys, all of which with different leaders and different abilities and bonuses. The first one is the Razor Teeth Hunters, then you have the Expert Bombers, then you have the Wicked Aristocrats, you have the Cold Mechanics, the Brutal Shooters, and finally the Chaotic Gunners. Here's a quick preview of what they look like in action. So the game works like this. You have all of the 6 factions scattered around the map equally, and all of them have to work together in order to make this spaceship, rocket, train reach the middle. So you have to work with your alliance and your horde to build it up and do some quests, do some activities. As you can see here, you have rocket missions to power the rocket. You can build the engine by donating some things to the construction with your alliance. There's tons of content involved, and ultimately you want to take this rocket all the way to the middle of the map, which is right here. Now you will see this is the ultimate launch pad, and whoever gets there first will basically launch the rocket to space first, and then there's a space race element involved, and you become the supreme horde, and the overlord will be the leader of the top alliance in that horde. So there's some kind of different elements to this game already. You work as 6 different colors fighting with each other. You have to capture stuff in the map. There's a lot of events and adventures. And if you look here, you can see some of the basics, basically winning the space race. Once you've launched, there's even more content in space that will launch afterwards. So you're basically trying to fuel your rocket as fast as possible by donating material, by doing quests. You will eventually also gather uranium and launch convoys that you will have to escort all the way back to your rocket. And you will be building a railway all the way to the middle. So it is a very cool aspect of this game. I find this pretty interesting and different from the other stuff. Obviously, there's still alliance flags and alliance conflicts within the hordes. So there's a whole new element that adds kind of different alliances on top of horde fighting to each other. As well as there's a lot of ruins from old civilization of humans. And you can see here there's convoys and train defense. You can loot other players' convoys as well. So, you know, there's a really big aspect to this game that has never been done before, which I find very interesting. Now, on top of that, there's also the usual map exploration thing where you'll find rocket parts and old ruins or subway stations that you can explore for loot. And as always, you have some kind of monsters to kill. So in this case, they are called white mutants. You'll see here they're basically white apes that have been radioactive and are going to try and attack you, and can also attack your convoys. So you have to defend against other players and against these mutants. Now you can also launch rallies on white bruisers. Now there isn't any close to my city, but they're basically giant apes that will be walking around, and you need to work with your alliance to kill them before they attack your convoy and your train eventually. Now you can see there's a lot of players all scattered around. People are building flags. Now I've been on this server for only a few days, so it's basically just starting. Now I will show you the next part of this game, which is basically the city building. So as usual, you get some kind of city hall that you have to increase in level. You also have the research lab. As you can see here, there's different types of research, development, military, rocket. So all these things you research as usual. You have to get the prerequisites to go further, and you have to upgrade your research lab. So as you see right now, I'm researching my pilot's motor, like to get stronger pilots eventually. So that takes me to my next point. As you can see here, there's 4 different types of units. Now it starts with little pilots on bikes, and then it goes up to level 2 and then 3 on motorcycles. Now you have this one, and the last one has a shotgun, basically with a VTT. Now you have also hitters, which are basically just apes with like weapons, melee weapons, and it becomes eventually very cool looking. So as usual, you get different tiers of units, different tiers of guns, different tiers of weapons, and you can upgrade them all. And the wall breakers are basically like your siege weapons, or basically tanks. So I find the art style of this pretty cool. Now I can train some more guys here. As you can see as well, there's alliance stuff. So here is to help your alliance, and here is to launch rallies on the monsters, as I said earlier. So mine is here, I cannot see it, so why don't send a scout and just scout it up. So I'm still at the beginning of this game. It's very early on. The game is still in pre-release right now, but will be launching very soon, as I said earlier. Now here is where you recruit all the heroes, or basically fighters in this type of game. So you have tickets that you get from different ways in the game, and you will get to unlock different fighters. So as you can see, there's quite a few fighters. There's different degrees to them. Some of them are better than others. So basically the yellow ones are the strongest ones, and they all have very cool looking art, I find. And then you have the purple ones, and then you'll have the blue ones. Obviously they're going to keep adding more and more of these, I'm sure. They all have different abilities that you'll have to check, and they all have talent trees that you'll have to go into and see. You can unlock basically one skill when you've mastered the talent tree. So I'll show you that right here quickly. So on this guy, basically if I go into talents, you'll see that I have 3 different routes. And when you've reached a certain amount of 45 points to be exact, you will unlock a special talent. So they all have this for every one of their trees. So again, similar to some types of game like Rise of Kingdoms, but it has its own uniqueness to it, own art style. There's gatherers, and there's leaders of different troops. So this one's good at leading pilots. This one's good at leading just multiple troops. This one's good for hitters, so the melee guys. So there's really a lot of aspect to this. I find this quite interesting. There's obviously a lot of similarities, so it's not completely different for the new players. If you've played these kind of games before, you will feel right at home. But it's basically just a completely new system of end game goal. Instead of being one kingdom and then doing other war against other kingdoms, this is hordes against other hordes. It's the race to space, and there's a lot of content that we haven't even seen yet in the space realm. Now also, there is no gathering resources in your city. You can gather outside of the city as usual, but it basically works with a holo projector. As you saw, I just collected some of my resources. If you click here, you can basically charge this holo projector, and it will produce the 2 of the materials that you need right here, and also increases your convoy. So instead of being the same kind of like upgrade your farms and like lumber and all that kind of stuff, it is basically a holo projector that does it all for you. Now if I go here, you can see that I can increase it. Now the way to level it up is by using these little tools that you will gather by doing daily quests. So as you grow further and further, you'll unlock more and more of them, and they'll cost more and more. So this is kind of like locked behind being active daily, which I find is pretty great and pretty unique in its own style. And on top of that, now if we go in here, you see this is the basic quest. So obviously you always have to do the same stuff, like just training units, building stuff, researching stuff, and you get tons of reward for free for just doing that stuff. Now you have the daily quest, which is again similar to daily quest. You just have to play the game and all its elements every day to get tons of reward. And as I said, this is where you get the projector models, so you get stronger income. You also have achievements in this game already, so as you see, you basically have to do all these achievements, and you will get rewarded with shiny CDs, which is this game's special currency that can also be bought. And it is a very rewarding game, I have to say. There's also tons of other content like this, for example. This is basically your events. Now this is the starting kingdom event. This is the first event that starts on this when I just started the game. Now you also have these rewards for when you reach certain city hall levels, rookie shop to buy some huge discounted items. There's a lot of stuff in this game. There's a lot of rewards coming up, and it's also always about building up your train and building up the rocket. Now, talking of which, you also have these rocket missions, which you basically get some reward for this guy, which is kind of like the White Walker Hunter. So he basically lets you get a lot of free stuff all day by just playing the game, and you get some medals and stamina. So I find that aspect pretty cool as well. Now, one of the main aspects of this game goes here. So repair the rocket. This is basically, as you can see, it starts here, and you go all the way through different events and objectives with your entire Horde and Alliance and entire server. And as you go through it, you will see that there's more and more stuff unlocking in the game. So we've unlocked Rocket Mission just now and Alliance Flag just now. Now we have to do these events and basically just occupy stuff and research stuff. And eventually we'll unlock railways and we'll unlock repairs, which we can make a rocket go through on the way to the middle. And we'll unlock the uranium, which we'll need to gather for our rocket. And then afterwards, we'll have some more events and quests. And here there's more unlocking stuff. So this is the pass to get to the next zones, a level 2 repairer. And as you can see, we're just building more train tracks, uranium. So it's all about getting your train to the middle, and you unlock more and more of this content. Eventually, there will be white bruisers. I don't even know what that is yet. So that's exciting. Level 2 passes. And eventually, there will be some war stuff incoming. Then you can change the Horde here if you'd like. You can see it's really long. There's so much stuff going on. So this is really like a complete game. It really has a lot of content right now, and it is really exciting. The devs have been working really hard and listening to feedback really hard, and they are really adding more and more stuff every day, even from me playing this game a few days ago, and now they've released a big patch that changed a lot of stuff. So it is something that is worth checking out. I find it very interesting to have kind of same elements that I'm used to from other games, but having a complete different end game. It makes me kind of have a feeling of new while not feeling completely lost and having to relearn everything from scratch. So as far as the gameplay is concerned, as you can see here, I can have mutants around my city. I can find them and I can attack them with an army. Now I will choose which of my champions that I'm bringing. You can switch around, obviously. I can use this one instead, and you can bring whatever units you like. Tells you how easy it is. It tells you the cost and action point, and then you just send your army to it directly. So again, it's kind of like an open world thing. You can click at this army and you can send it anywhere, or I can just send it to attack, and you can send it for rallies. You can send it to attack other players, and then you eventually also can send it to gather materials around the map. Now you can see here, this was a subway entrance that I discovered and got some loot from for free. So there's really a lot of content in this game. I recommend checking it out for sure. If you are into this type of game, you should not be disappointed, because it really has all the elements that you like from your previous games, but it adds different elements as well. One more part that's really important about this game is obviously the alliances. Now, within one Horde, you will have many alliances. And as you can see, you can have all the same stuff as help, gifts, convoy, all this kind of stuff basically is implemented in the game already. Now, we're almost on the point where we're going to unlock this. You can see around who's your alliance mates here, and you can build flags together, do rallies together. This would be war if there was a rally happening. And you can also build some flags, as you can see here, the territory. So this is all the flags we've built so far. So really, it's pretty cool game. I really enjoy it. You can go as well in your profile here and add some extra social profile. You can get followed, likes, and followers in the game. So I find that a pretty unique aspect. And the whole chat system is also pretty advanced. So there's a chat for the entire server. Now there's chat for stuff that is hot right now. You can follow people and have their chats here. You can also have your Horde chat. And then you can have your Alliance chat, which has its own different chats here. Alliance chat room, game tips. And you can also have private chats, obviously, if you would like, on top of having a whole mail system that gives you all the information about what you've been doing, the victory rewards, and all that kind of stuff. And on top of that, there's tons of other stuff that comes in the game. Now, the shop is also a big part of the game as usual, but it is also completely playable free-to-play. As far as I'm concerned right now, I'm completely free-to-play and I'm doing pretty well. But of course, there's all these packs, the usual stuff that you are used to. The daily packs, the great offers, splendid offers, all these kind of stuff. The subscription card to get some of the loot in-game every day. And you can buy CDs here just purely by paying for them. The CDs also have their own secret store in here when it's open every few hours. You can buy stuff with CDs, as well as there's an entire VIP system here where you get again, more and more buffs as you grow in VIP, and there will be an entire VIP shop opening up pretty soon as you rank up in here. So you can see this game has all of the elements that you're used to, but also has a lot of new stuff. I know I keep saying that, but it is really kind of a unique game, I find. So I recommend you check this game out. It seems very fun for now, and I really am enjoying it. There's more and more content that's going to be launched very soon, and I will try and make some more and more videos about the starting tips and beginner's guide on what's happening at the beginning, go through the events that's going to be happening here. So you will obviously have a really great experience if you try this out as it releases, because this game is going to be probably very big very quickly. I can already foresee it. Now, there is so much content in this game, so just make sure to check it out. And if you have any question, or if you want to have more information, there is an entire Discord dedicated to this game, as well as you can always ask us in the comment or come on our own Discord and check it out there. We're happy to always help and answer any questions you have. So this is it for now, guys. I will be playing this game for the next few days for sure, and I'll be coming up with more videos about starting tips and beginner's guide. So make sure to check that out, and say subscribe if you are interested in kind of content, as well as all the other games you cover. Until next time, guys, and thank you for watching.